Hi, dear Scorpio. This is Anastasia for Amira Salon's channel, and I'm here with a mini reading for you for 2018. I used several decks here. That's part of my style. Even for personal readings, I love to use multiple decks because I love to see how the main themes are kind of recurrent across the decks. So today I used a classical tarot deck, Golden Tarot by Cat Black, with very, very beautiful artwork uh, for the images. And if you're familiar with classical tarot deck symbolism, I invite you to join me with an interpretation of these cards that you see. I pulled out four cards, one card for each 3 months of the new year for you. And I also used messages from Your Angels by Doreen Virtue, and I pulled out one card for you, which sometimes and very often has also the recurring theme with the tarot deck. And before I start talking about this spread, I would like you to ask a question or make a wish or think about a situation that you would love to be resolved in a positive way in 2018. And I'm going to use the deck, which is called Angel Answers. And if you're not familiar with this deck, it has 44 cards with answers around yes or no situations. Sometimes they're pretty straightforward, and we can read yes or no with exclamation mark or change direction. But most often they will give us advice about the question that you're asking about. So, for example, compromise or forgiveness. So, to cut a long story short, just make a wish, think of a situation, and in the end of this spread, we will see the answer. So let's begin with the first card for Scorpio for 2018, and we're talking here about January, February, and March. This is a beautiful card. Of course, you can judge by the image, and the energy that is coming from this image speaks about security, abundance, self-contentment, balance between enjoying yourself and the world. And although it can speak about a little bit of loneliness, because we see this lady is just standing there all by herself, surrounded by coins, and she has a basket with lilies. It's a very peaceful, wonderful image of a lady who has time not only to work or take care of somebody else, but also who cares for her well-being, and she has the luxury of being alone. But for some of Scorpios, it could be a little bit talking about loneliness in the beginning of the year. However, you have to enjoy this time of security. This lady, she has enough money to spend her time the way she wants. She can spend her time on herself, her spiritual growth, on her hobbies. She has, I think it's a hawk. So she has time for some kind of enjoyable activities, and she doesn't care a lot about, like, she's in no rush, she's in no stress, and she enjoys every moment of her life. And the only thing what we can talk about, only negative thing, like I said, it could be a little bit of boredom and loneliness. By the way, when we look at these two cards one after another, because the world card speaks about the period of time starting in April, May, and June, and it looks like the same energy will be, will be flowing to you for Scorpios, for many Scorpios in 2018. And sometimes, if we look at these two cards, we can think these images, they are very similar. Here we also see a symbolic figure of a lady who is self-content, and she's recognized by others, and she is also in the position of power, and she is spreading her energy of protection and wisdom to other people. So what it can talk about that for those Scorpios who are, particularly if you're a woman, a Scorpio woman, you are a leader in your family. You will be recognized for what you're doing for your family. You will be protecting your family members or your children, your partner. Or it can also speak about a very harmonious period of time for an entrepreneur. And even if you're a man, it can refer to any person, a Scorpio. But if you're a leader of a group, you will be, well, your efforts to make this group happy and to meet their needs. And you are the person who can take your responsibilities about others. So you will be recognized, your efforts will be recognized in April, May, June period. Also, this card can talk about some kind of end of a cycle for Scorpios in 2018. It could refer to the workplace situation when you were working on some kind of report or a project that finally reaches the stage of finalization, and you will be also recognized by your superiors for your hard work. You will be rewarded in some way. The World card shows the end of a cycle, accomplishment, achievement, and you can be happy about this because maybe you invested a lot of efforts to achieve this goal, and now you can just be on the top of the world, top of the mountain, and you can see the beautiful sunrise or sunset. So you can enjoy the time of your accomplishment. It could be also an academic degree that you finally will be given by the academic institution, or you could be also rewarded as a writer or an artist or any person who is working in a creative area. So these two cards, they look like sisters to me, like kissing cousins, right? It speaks about very nice, secure, protected, harmonious, peaceful beginning of the year and going further into the year for many Scorpios. And again, like I said, it could relate to family matters, to marriage, happy marriage life. It could relate to having some time for travel. So if we look at this card, this lady, she's walking in some kind of paradise-like garden, which is so beautiful, and she's looking at the birds. So if we project the situation to travel to some exotic land, you can feel like this person who is looking at the beautiful birds. She's enjoying free time in a very beautiful landscape. So maybe you will go somewhere to Hawaii or Thailand or I don't know, Vietnam or Bahamas. Yes, Bahamas. So some kind of islands. That's what's going on in my mind right now. So you reward yourself with this pleasure of being who you really are and of feeling in peace with the world. So beautiful cards. And this is also reward for whatever efforts you were investing in your future and your surroundings. Now let's look at the next card, and it talks about a period of time of 2018 beginning from July. So July, August, September, the dynamics, the energy will be slightly different. You will be looking into a period of time when the moon energy is coming to you more than anything else. And the moon is usually a shadow side of our conscious mind, it's subconscious. You will be again a little bit melancholic, like maybe this in here. On the one hand, you will be so happy that you can be all by yourself, but at the same time, you could be a little bit lonely. Remember, we were mentioning that. So a very similar energy of being lonely and being, I would say, one on one with your fears and doubts and uncertainty. There will be a situation when you don't know what to do. However, we know that Scorpios are very intuitive sign. It's a very intuitive sign. So you have to draw towards from your intuition more than from facts. And it can sound kind of strange, right? But the impulse and the energy of this card, the advice of this card is, don't trust what you see, don't trust what you hear. Check it several times and ask your heart rather than your mind if you should proceed with some kind of contract. Don't sign contracts when the moon is dominating your conscious life, and subconscious impulses come to the surface. We are less attentive to factual information, and we can be too careless with it. And also the card shows darker colors. The face of the moon, symbolic face of the moon, looks also melancholically and with some kind of doubt, like you're it's almost resembling a person who is looking at her maybe papers, documents, or looking at her contracts, or looking at her bank account, and she's asking herself, so what's going on here? Am I doing okay? What information is should be taken seriously, and what should be not taken into consideration at this point. Also, if you're offered to sign a contract, or you're offered a new workplace, please think twice before you move on, because again, during the period of time when the moon is dominating your love, your life, and it could be your love exactly, you should not take decisions, or you should talk more to your inner self. You look within rather than outside. Okay. Yeah, with who is watching, I'm just picking up, there will be situation with somebody's marriage life when it looks like it's okay, everything on the surface is fine, but you are feeling like you get at a distance from your partner, and again you will be reflecting on what's going wrong, and there will be this little conflict and topics that are coming to the surface that you don't want to even to think about, but they will be kind of nagging at you. I'm looking at these creatures that are kind of crawling or coming out from different angles. And by the way, there is no person, right? There is no human here. So again, I would say that will be period of 2018 for Scorpios when they will be attacked by their own fears or some kind of arguments which are coming out of nothing. And the best bet here will be not to react too suddenly and not to react too emotionally, but just to observe the situation. Like to be an observer would be better than to be an actor. That's what I'm picking up for many Scorpios. But look at the beautiful card in the end of 2018 for you, Scorpio. Wheel of Fortune. All of us, we would love to have this beautiful card in our readings. And Wheel of Fortune talks here about several things. First of all, the period of uncertainty, doubts, or little arguments and conflicts, or conflicts within yourself, your own, your higher self will be kind of in dissonance with your outside persona. This period will be over by October. October, November, December will be much better time for you, and here is the time for your projects, for your aspirations to come true. And it also talks about a happy marriage life. So if there will be some conflict in your marriage life, and arguments, and questions that should be resolved before October, November, December. So in this period, in the end of the year, the Wheel of Fortune will give you an opportunity to resolve the conflict peacefully, because we see here wonderful scene from, it looks like nativity scene, and it speaks about care, harmony, peace in the family, when the husband is taking care of this of his wife and his son, his child, and they have plenty, they have whatever God is giving them to feel in peace within the family and with the whole world. So that would be the energy coming for many Scorpios in the end of the next year. If we're talking about workplace situation, again, if there will be some uncertainty or offers that you are not sure that you should go in a new direction because you are not sure, there is doubts, you don't trust people, and you have to make a difficult decision, but you don't have enough facts to persuade yourself, first of all, that that's the right way to do. In the end of the year, you can trust you can trust your own decisions much more, and many of your decisions will be lucky for you. And what else? Yeah, I also just picked up that somebody will be having a baby, of course, and that will bring so much peace and wonderful experience to the family that was waiting for a baby to come for many, many years. So you can be congratulated on that, and it would be a real blessing. Maybe your doctors told you you cannot have children, but for a Scorpio who is watching and they were waiting for this good news, it will be coming to them. Back to business and workplace. Yeah, so the project that you started will have and that maybe may took a slower turn um, in previous period. In the end of the year, they will take a happy turn and you will be helped. Somebody will be caring about this or supporting you for you to accomplish your goal, and you can have resources to do so. So this is a very beautiful card for you, Scorpio. Now, the card that I pulled out for you from messages from your angels deck is Caressa, and let me read the message. You are at the end of a cycle in your life. And this is exactly what the World card is talking about. This is the end of the cycle. It's accomplishment. And then you have to take a deep breath and then either relax and then think about the next stage of your life. Call upon your angels to comfort you and to guide you to your next step. Happiness awaits you now. Sometimes when we finish something important, we're so happy that it happened, but we also feel some kind of dizziness about, okay, what's next, and you don't know what to do. You're kind of, when you're all the time busy with a project or with issues at your workplace or in your relationship, and now it's settled. Now you get married, for example, or you're engaged with a person who was kind of not giving you a peaceful time before that, and finally you achieved your goal or you got your degree, and now you feel kind of a little bit frustrated because your life seems to be so full of activities and ideas, and now there you go, you got it, your wish come true. So what is next? And you don't know what to do, and that will remind me the energy of the moon. Your shadow side is kind of um, taking its part in you, and you don't know what to do next, and you're melancholic about that, and you may be disappointed that now what's next, and you feel bored, right? You may feel bored, like I also was talking about this card. You have everything you wanted, so what's next? So this card is a really beautiful message that no matter how odd or weird you may feel about the end of a cycle in your life, your angels are with you. You can relax in some exotic place. Remember, I also mentioned about exotic place when we were talking about Nine of Coins. You can take your time just to enjoy a beautiful air, wonderful scenery, different culture, exotic food, and just think about how beautiful the world is and how beautiful is your role in the world, because the angels are saying, that happiness awaits you now, and they will guide you towards your new next step. So it's a beautiful, beautiful card for you, Scorpio. And I really feel very good about it. Like, even looking at the warm colors, they give you peace, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of harmony. And no matter what's going on in the world, if we create this inner world which is full of peace, harmony, love, support to our family and friends, God is helping us, and angels are there for you, and they will guide you to your next step to accomplish the next goal. Beautiful. And now let's go back to your question about whatever situation you were asking about or thinking about, a wish that will may come true or maybe not yet. So let's look at the answer. Scorpio 2018. Forgiveness. Interestingly, I think it's the one of the cards that I showed you in the beginning, and it's very often that's what's happening. The card that is in the beginning comes back. It gives me an idea that this is something, what you're asking about can be accomplished, can actualize only if you forgive either yourself or somebody else who is involved in this situation that you're asking about. Maybe you will be forgiving by a person who has been hurt by you, and so you can, two of you can be together again. Or you can be the one who has to forgive in order to receive what you are asking about. And Scorpio is it's a very responsible sign, I would say. The energy of Scorpio is very self-reflective, and they usually are very demanding to other people, but before anything else, they are demanding, they are self-demanding. They put very high standards to their own spiritual growth and their path in this life. And it's very hard for them to forgive because they have these high standards, and therefore sometimes these hurt feelings, they can block them, they're moving ahead. So whatever you're asking about, forgiveness is in place, and as soon as you do that, as soon as you do your homework to forgive or to ask for forgiveness, you can get what you're asking about. Okay. So this is a beautiful card, I would say, and all the cards look very nice to me, with beautiful energy coming from them. Even when you have fears or doubts, we know that they are given to us to test our ability to grow, to develop. And I do wish, Scorpio, a wonderful year for you. And if you have any questions, please ask me. You can also book a personal reading if you want to look into more complicated situation. And I wish you only well. And I do feel very good about the new year for you, Scorpio. So good luck, and till next time. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.